Mary, can you tell us about your journey towards being an alcohol ink artist?
Yes. As I said before, I've only been using alcohol inks for about 8 years, and but had been a watercolorist. I hate to say it, for about 50 years, and my favorite thing about watercolor is the ability to go and paint on site and to be a plein air artist. I love that whole feeling of being outdoors, but my process is completely different. When I am out painting, if I'm doing what I should do, I'm doing sketches of what inspires me at the location. If I'm really good, I'll do a valued sketch of what I'm about to paint. And but there's a method. It's So my paintings would be something like this. So a drawing is done first. I try to be. I've always been loose within the images, but there, there may be architectural components to them as well, but they're not. They're very, very different than my process with the alcohol inks. Is another watercolor with a drawing done first, and again playing with color inside the areas, but not in the same way as the alcohol inks. The alcohol inks, because of their own characteristics, they flow across your paper. They they're very, very quick drying. You're moving them with air, either with an airbrush, a straw. When I'm doing classes, I've moved on to an airbrush for the most part in my own studio. Canned air is great because it propels it in a different way. And so I'll show you an abstraction first. What caught me about the alcohol inks when I saw the first couple of videos, thinking that they were watercolor on Yupo, was the color. The colors are so intense. They're so beautiful. But if you look at all the passages in this abstraction, I meant this to be an abstraction. And now I'm playing with the flow of the paint. I'm playing with some of the lines, the movement of with your eyes moving around the paper, and the shapes, and also the textures. These things were all serendipitous. I didn't paint most of these shapes in; they happened. And sometimes you can tilt your paper. There's a process afterwards where you spray it with isopropyl, and it makes particles, like little dots, little more textural parts of your image. You can do it in a more realistic way. I will do florals, and so you know that this is a group of hydrangeas. But if you look closely, again, many parts of this is abstracted, and again, the colors they're just delicious. They're just wonderful. I love playing lights against darks, and again, look at the textures. That was done with the spray afterwards. I love teaching this because it allows people who don't have a lot of experience to because it's playful, in that you always get into that, like, what if I do this. And I try to keep my classes so that it's open to that, and it's very good for people who, and I've had some of my people who have taken my classes who are artists will take my class to loosen up. They may, no matter what, oil painter, watercolors, whatever, they want the opportunity to be intuitive, to be spontaneous. And so this medium allows this to happen. This particular painting was almost a throwaway, and it ends up being one of my favorite paintings. Something was going on up here. I wanted it to be very, very loose. It was not even a floral. I think it was an abstraction to begin with. And I put it aside for a little while, and because I liked parts of it so much that I didn't want to toss it. And I just decided one day, okay, take a big brush. I love negative painting in my watercolors, and so I did negative painting here. this whole dark area was all done with a big brush, cutting out what I perceived would be flowers, kind of popping up from this base down here. And as I said, it was very close to being not finished and in the trash. So that's it.